ACSM exam insider, have the ACSM Certification Director, Francis Neric. We're not letting him go until he answers all of our questions. Francis, how you doing?
Great.
Great. I'm David Barr. Biggest question I have, I'm going to get this certification. I'm going to knock it out of the park. From there, I can get a job, right?
Yeah, that's a great question. Sort of. I think it's just like when you're looking at certifications, kind of the purpose of certifications is really kind of defining the level of minimum competence. It's like, okay, so people don't like hearing that, but at the end of the day is, do I have enough knowledge, skills, and abilities to do a job? What is that bottom bar? So that's the unintended, right? But the certification is, the intention of a certification is setting that bar of what does it mean to be able to do the job? What are those minimum levels, competencies, knowledge, skills, and abilities to be able to do the job? Yeah, that gets you in the door, but now it's kind of like those, it doesn't really tell you whether you're going to be successful or not in your career.
Exactly.
I think those are the ones who are the most successful in your career, typically are the ones who have, enough of the education of an exercise science background. Great. You gain your certification. That's great. So that's kind of, you get in the door. The next part is really kind of those things where, can I do complex thinking? Can I go the higher level order of there's a bunch of complex things that are going on. Can I tie them together and provide decision making? The other one is soft skills. I think that's one of the ones I think I've talked to a ton of employers, both on the athletic side and also in the medical fitness side. And the key thing that everyone says is do they have the soft skills? Or human skills is probably a better way. How can you communicate with both fellow employees or colleagues, and how do you communicate with your clients? That is a tougher skill, and especially is there ways you can manage a job? If your manager is asking you some questions, are ways, how do you phrase things to kind of get your point across? That's one. Especially if you're trying to transition your career, super important. The other one's working with clients. People run into obstacles all the time. There's dietary challenges. You're they'll ask you questions hey, here's the next fad diet. What do I do? And they'll be able to navigate
all the time.
Be able to navigate through those kinds of questions. Or, sometimes you'll walk in and it's just I'm not really sure if this exercise program is working, and be able to kind of work through those challenges. And sometimes there's injuries. How do you navigate through? How do you keep somebody motivated? How do you get that client engagement? And that's really kind of super important in terms of success. It's just having the right skill sets, being able to have the right certifications, and then be able to kind of navigate you through the way through. And the last one is having enough information in terms of business. I think that's kind of one of the things where we don't necessarily talk about it all the time,
right,
but really kind of looking through do you have the business skills? Because for example, you've been a personal trainer for 2-3 years, or you're an exercise physiologist 2 or 3 years, and you're refining your skill sets, and that's wonderful. Then when you start doing a transition in your career and you want to start your own business, or you want to become a manager, those skill sets are completely different. And so being able to look at what are opportunities to grow as an exercise professional? Getting certified is great. That's kind of one of those things where you kind of do out of the gates. That's really the start of the journey of an exercise professional, not the end. So be able to kind of continue looking at, how do I get better? How do I communicate better as an effective exercise professional? How do I continually grow as an exercise professional? And then networking with the right people. So those are a lot of opportunities to grow as an exercise professional and be successful.
Fantastic answer from Francis Neric, ACSM Certification Director, ACSM Insider. We got all the info for you. Until next time, raise the bar.